My daughter was 8 years old the first time someone asked her to call my boyfriend dad. I remember the exact moment because the room went completely silent afterward. Not immediately. First, there was laughter, then smiles, then one sentence. And suddenly, nobody knew what to say. At the time, I thought my daughter was being difficult. Years later, I realized she was the only honest person in the room. My divorce from Noah had been finalized about a year earlier. The marriage had ended badly. Not with screaming, not with police, not with court battles. Just disappointment. The kind that settles quietly into a relationship and slowly destroys it from the inside. By the time we signed the papers, I'd already been seeing Ryan for several months. Officially, he wasn't the reason for the divorce. Unofficially, everyone knew better, including Noah, especially Noah. The strange thing was that Noah never fought, never argued, never tried to turn Emma against me, never demanded loyalty. He simply focused on being her father. At the time, I mistook that for weakness. I know better now. A year after the divorce, Ryan moved in with us. Emma tolerated him. That was the best word for it. Tolerated. She was polite, respectful, never rude. But there was always distance. A wall she refused to lower. Ryan kept trying. Board games, movie nights, birthday gifts, trips to the zoo. He genuinely cared about her. I never doubted that. But every effort seemed to stop at arm's length. Nothing ever felt natural. Still, I convinced myself it would improve with time. Children adapt. That's what everyone told me. Eventually, she'd accept him. Eventually, we'd become a family. Eventually, everything would feel normal. Then Father's Day arrived. Ryan's first Father's Day living with us. I should have realized that sentence alone was a problem. Because Ryan wasn't a father. Not to Emma. Not to anyone. Yet somehow everyone kept acting as though the title was waiting for him. My parents were especially guilty of it. They liked Ryan. A lot. More than they had ever liked Noah, if I was being honest. They thought Ryan was charismatic, fun, exciting, everything Noah supposedly wasn't. That Father's Day, we hosted lunch at my parents' house. The atmosphere felt cheerful, comfortable, until dessert. That's when my mother brought out a gift bag and handed it to Ryan. Everyone smiled. Ryan looked confused. "What is this?" My mother grinned. "A Father's Day gift." Ryan laughed. "I'm not a father." Then she said the sentence that changed everything. "Close enough." The table laughed. Everyone except Emma. Ryan opened the bag. Inside was a coffee mug. World's best bonus dad. I remember feeling embarrassed. Not because I disagreed, because nobody had discussed it first. Especially not with Emma. My mother noticed Emma's expression, then smiled. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Maybe next year you'll call him Dad." The room became quiet. Emma looked up from her plate. My father chuckled. Ryan shifted awkwardly. I waited for Emma to smile, or laugh, or ignore it. Instead, she calmly put down her fork, then said, "I already have a dad." Silence. Complete silence. Nobody moved. Nobody spoke. My mother tried laughing. "Of course you do." Emma nodded. "So why would I call someone else Dad?" The question landed like a brick. Ryan immediately stepped in. "Hey, that's okay." But Emma wasn't finished. Kids rarely stop once they decide to tell the truth. "He comes to everything." Another silence. "He calls every day." Another. "He remembers stuff." The room suddenly felt much smaller. Nobody knew where to look. Not me. Not my parents. Not Ryan. Then Emma said the sentence that ended the conversation completely. "My dad never stopped being my dad just because Mom got a new boyfriend." I wanted to disappear. Not because she was wrong, because she wasn't. That's what made it hurt. The drive home was miserable. I was angry, mostly at myself, partly at my parents, a little at Emma, even though I knew she hadn't done anything wrong. Ryan remained unusually quiet. Eventually, I apologized. For what happened? Ryan stared out the window, then shook his head. You don't need to apologize. But, no. His voice remained calm. She was right. I didn't respond, because what was there to say? Over the next few months, something changed. Not with Emma, with Ryan. He stopped trying so hard. At first, I worried that he was giving up. Eventually, I realized he was adjusting, accepting reality. One afternoon, I came home and found Ryan helping Emma with homework. The interaction looked different, easier, more relaxed, less forced. After Emma went upstairs, I mentioned it. You two seem better. Ryan smiled. We are. What changed? He thought for a second, then shrugged. I stopped trying to be her dad. The answer surprised me. Ryan leaned back in his chair. She already has one. Simple, obvious, true. Then he added, turns out she likes me a lot more now. And he was right. The relationship improved almost immediately. Not because Emma suddenly viewed him as family, because nobody was demanding she redefine the family she already had. Ryan became something else. A trusted adult. A mentor. A friend. But never dad. And once everyone accepted that, things got easier. Years passed. Emma grew up, graduated, started college. Life moved forward. Then one Father's Day, nearly a decade later, Emma invited both Noah and Ryan to lunch. The three of us sat around a table sharing stories, laughing, remembering old disasters, the kind of peaceful scene I never would have imagined years earlier. At one point, Noah stepped away to answer a phone call. Ryan watched him leave, then smiled. You know, your dad's a good man. Emma nodded immediately. I know. No hesitation, no uncertainty. Just certainty. Ryan smiled, then said something I'll never forget. You're lucky. Emma looked confused. What do you mean? Ryan glanced toward the door Noah had just walked through, then back at her. A lot of kids lose their dads after divorce. The room became quiet. Ryan continued. Yours never left. When Noah returned a few minutes later, Emma got up and hugged him. No special occasion. No dramatic moment. Just a hug. Then she handed him a Father's Day card. As he opened it, I noticed Ryan smiling. Not jealous, not uncomfortable, just happy. Because by then he'd learned something I wish I'd understood years earlier. Being important to a child doesn't require replacing someone. And love isn't a competition. The reason Emma refused to call Ryan dad wasn't because she hated him. It wasn't because she was stubborn. It wasn't because she couldn't move on. It was because she already knew something the adults hadn't figured out yet. A good father isn't a title you inherit. It's a relationship you earn. And the reason my daughter never called my lover dad was simple. She already had one.